Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everyone, whenever you watch this video. Ismail Mubarak. I'm a third-year student of English Education Department, Tarbiyah and Teacher Science faculty at Alauddin State Islamic University of Makassar. Well, I'm back again on my YouTube channel to explain my assignment regarding discourse analysis. And in this case, I would like to discuss regarding written discourse analysis with several questions. Here there are about 5 questions that I will be discuss. So without any further ado, I will try to discuss it one by one. For the first questions, what do you know of written discourse analysis? Okay, if we are talking about written discourse analysis, written discourse analysis can be understood as a study that focuses on exploring the use of language in the context of written form and acknowledge the structures focus on cohesion and coherence. So, if we're talking about written, there's a text and we know how the function of the text, how to organize the text in well of form, in well of sequence. Furthermore, in the context of written discourse, the writer is responsible for making the reader easily understand the text, and the text is also readable. So, in written discourse analysis, we focus on cohesion, coherence, and also text pattern that will make our text like a native like, in which more natural to make that text more easy to understand by the reader, and also it is readable for any kind of people, because some people have a difficult to understand a text because the text is not in well form of written. For instance, written discourse analysis by analyzing the introduction of a research article written by a native speaker. In analyzing the text, the analyzer will find several insight knowledge that will really helpful for us to make such a like introduction the same pattern that will make our return is like native. Thus, the result of this course analysis can be used as a compass for writing a good introduction and to make it natural or native-like. Okay, the next question. It is important to carry out written discourse analysis. And why? Okay. For me, it is so important because written discourse analysis emphasize the fundamental role in understanding of written text, which in writing, the writer needs to consider numerous regularities in writing, which is it aims to present an example comprehension that help teacher teach their students skills in writing coherent and readable text. In addition, um, commonly people reading text find it difficult to understand the context of the text because the text does not adhere to the text regularities, making the writing unreadable. So It is important to carry out written discourse analysis. With written discourse analysis, will open our mind about what kind of text that more easier to understand by the people. And by that, it will make us easy to write what kind of sequence, what kind of format that people need to read and people easy to understand when they read a text. And the third are the approaches using spoken discourse and written discourse the same or different? Well, they are different. The approach using spoken discourse and written discourse are different, in which in a spoken discourse analysis, we use speaking as social context as a core literary function of speaking. I'd speaking as a direction, speaking and transaction, and performance, which is happened in our social context, in our social life. It refers to the speaking that used by the people in their social life context. So in this case, the approach in the speaking discourse is a social context. Besides, the writing discourse analysis use a content approach. So it's different with the spoken, right? Which is the content approach regarding the contents focus on coherence, cohesion, and text patterns. Not only that, but also focus on about word, paragraph, text that focus in the writing of their content. So the different both of spoken discourse analysis and written discourse analysis is that the approach used in spoken discourse analysis is speaking as social context, and written discourse analysis use content approach. Well, the next question. What do you think of Keiko's 2001 methodology in carrying out a written discourse analysis? Do you agree with that? Okay, before I say that I am agree or not, I will be highlight that Keiko's methodologies focus on two. There are microanalysis and macro analysis, and I'll explain it before. I will explain it in the next explanation. So I do agree with Keiko's methodology in carrying out written discourse analysis using microanalysis because it's to use to analyze vocabulary, grammar, cohesive relation, and grammatical regularities. And also macroanalysis used to investigate the organization of text such as patterns and type. And both of these analyses have the writer to understand the regularities in written discourse to make it native-like. Furthermore, both analyses would hinge the knowledge of cohesion and coherence, in particular to use in teaching writing. So it is very important for the teacher to acknowledge those microanalysis in written form. And the last question, this is the last questions of our discussions. And in the last questions, what do you know of microanalysis of written discourse? Is it relevant to satisfy the need of the regularities among the native English readers? Explain your answer in detail. Okay. According to Keiko, microanalysis and written discourse focus on analyzing vocabulary and grammar, including cohesive relation and grammatical regularities in particular texts. In the context of non-native English writers, this analysis is not enough to satisfy the needs of regularities because the knowledge of vocabulary and grammar occur in microanalysis still not enough to create written discourse without the microanalysis. Well, which in acknowledging about the vocabulary grammar is not enough to make a well sequence of written for a non-native speaker. So if only that is not enough. We need a microanalysis because both of those things, microanalysis and macroanalysis, completed each other to make the written for the non-native English more easy to read and understand. So both of those analysis focus on making regular relatively non-native English writers, as I have explained before. So if only microanalysis, it would not be enough to create a whole form of front-end. Well, maybe that's all for my discussion regarding these 5 questions. And I'm so sorry for all my mistakes because I'm still steady and I hope this beneficial for you, especially for me as a learner. And thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.